Welcome back to a new tutorial video. In this video, we are going to be making a short sleeve cardigan. This pattern can be altered by your measurements. So make sure that you have a measuring tape to be able to get your accurate measurements. And with that, let's go ahead and get started. To get your starting measurements, measure around your bust area. We're going to be making 3 panels, so divide the number that you got. So my number was 38 inches. I divided that in half to get 19, so my back panel is going to be 19 inches, and then my 2 front panels would be 9.5 inches. I'm going to start my chain, so 45 will be multiple of 3, and then plus 4 will get me to 49. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 49. Starting in the 5th chain, make a double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One double crochet. Chain 1, 1. Skip this next chain and then make a double crochet into this chain. One double crochet, chain 1, skip this next chain and double crochet into the 2nd chain. Double crochet, chain 1, skip this chain, double crochet, double crochet right there, chain 1, skip, double crochet, chain 1, skip, double crochet, this is what our first row will look like, so go ahead and continue down the line. Chain 1, make a double crochet into the last chain. When we make our 2nd row, it is going to be the exact same thing that we will do the entire time. So once you know how to make the 2nd row, just continue doing that until you reach the length that you want. We will eventually decrease, so make the length from about the bottom of where you want it to land up until about the middle of your bust area. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn your work. Skip the first chain space, double crochet into this chain space. Chain 1, double crochet into the next chain space. Chain 1, double crochet into the next chain space. Chain 1, double crochet into the next chain space. Chain 1, double crochet into the next chain space. Chain 1, double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet. This is what our 2nd round looks like. Continue making a chain 1 and double crocheting into the chain space. Chain 1, make a double crochet into the last chain space. chain 1, make a double crochet into the 3rd chain on your starting chain. That is how you end your 2nd row. Now we are going to repeat the steps for row 2. So chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn your work. We're going to skip this first chain space and make a double crochet into the 2nd chain space. Chain 1, double crochet into the next chain space, chain 1, continue making a double crochet and chaining 1 into each chain space. Make a double crochet into the last chain space. Chain 1, and then make a double crochet into the 3rd chain. This is what your row will look like for row 3. Continue repeating the 2nd row until you have the length that you want. For one of my front panels, as you can see, we're going to be decreasing each row. We want our row to touch the top of our shoulder, so that way we can connect this part to the back panel. So one side we are decreasing, and then the other side we are going to be keeping the exact same. To start, we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip the first chain space, make a double crochet in the next. Chain 1. Continue making double crochets into each chain space. When you get to the last chain space, go ahead and chain 1 and make 1 double crochet. We're not going to make a double crochet here because we're going to start to decrease, so go ahead and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to skip the first chain space and the 2nd chain space. So make a double crochet into the 3rd chain space. Continue to make a chain 1 and then making a double crochet into the chain space. Chain 1, make a double crochet into the last chain space. We are going to make the double crochet into the 3rd chain because we want to keep this side straight while we decrease the other side. Chain 1 and then make your double crochet. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip the first chain space and make a double crochet into the 2nd one. Continue making a chain 1 and a double crochet into each chain space. We're going to repeat what we did for our first decrease row. So chain 1 and make 1 double crochet into the last chain space. Okay, and then chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip the first and second chain spaces and then make a double crochet into the 3rd one. Chain 1, make a double crochet into the next chain space. Continue to decrease one side of the row until the length will meet the top of your shoulder. For my front panels, I did 26 rows for the length. Then I made 14 decrease rows. So I'm going to finish decreasing on this panel and then we will come back to make the back panel. I just finished my 14 rows of decreases. So once you finish your first panel, go ahead and fasten it off and leave the tail long enough for sewing. So I just finished both of my front panels and they both equal 9.5 inches. Now we will make our back panel, and that is For me, it is going to measure to 19 inches. I'm going to make my chain for 79, which equals 19 inches for me. So 75 is a multiple of 3, and then I added plus 4 to come up with 79. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To make your back panel, we're going to be doing the exact same thing that we did for the length part of our front panels. Make a double crochet into the 5th chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 1, skip the next chain, but make a double crochet into the 2nd chain. Chain 1, skip the next chain, make a double crochet into the 2nd chain. Chain 1, skip this next chain, make a double crochet into the 2nd chain. Chain 1, skip, make a double crochet. Chain 1, skip, make a double crochet. Chain 1, continue making a chain 1 and skipping, and then making a double crochet into the 2nd chain all the way down the line. Chain 1 and then make a double crochet into the last chain. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We are going to be doing the exact same thing that we did on our front panels for row 2. So skip the first chain space and then make a double crochet into the next chain space. Chain 1, make a double crochet into the next chain space. Just like for the front panels, we are going to be repeating row 2. For my front panels, I made 40 rows altogether. So it was 26 rows for the length and then 14 rows for the decrease. For my back panel, I'm going to repeat row 2 until I make 40 rows altogether. So however many rows you made for your front panel, just make that many rows for your back panel, so that way the rows match up. I have my finished back panel here, and as you can see, there was no decreasing involved. We're going to begin sewing our back panel to our front panels. Lay your front panels on top of the back panel with the straight edges together. Thread your darning needle with the tail. We are going to sew these last 2 rows together. Sew into the 3rd chain on the back panel, into the chain space, into the next 2 stitches. And as you can see, we're going to be just going back and forth between the stitches and the chains. Once you sew the last 2 stitches together, go ahead and fasten off. And then repeat on the other side. After you have sewn both of the front panels to the back panel, we are going to move on to the sides. To decide the amount of space you want to leave for an armhole, go ahead and Use a stitch marker to connect the front panel and the back panel at the bottom row right here. Drape the piece over yourself and then use a stitch marker to mark where you want the armhole to end. And then we are going to do the same thing for sewing. So we're just gonna sew along this line right here. So I'm gonna be sewing the top of the 15th row. I'm going to begin sewing by entering my darning needle into both the front and the back panel. Making sure I have a long enough tail, I'm going to tie it together so that way I can start sewing back and forth. Just like we did with the top part, I'm going to just keep going back and forth between the stitches. I now have the front and the back panel sewn together on the side with enough space for an armhole. So I'm going to just repeat that onto the other side. Once you have both sides sewn together, we will begin on our sleeves. We are going to begin crocheting our short sleeves, so go ahead and make a slip knot. You can enter into pretty much any stitch, so I'm just going to start right here where I had sewn the tops together. I'm going to enter my hook, pull up a loop, and then pull it through. Make 4 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4. Make a double crochet into the next chain space. So 1 double crochet, chain 1. Make a double crochet into the next chain space. 1 double crochet, chain 1. Make a double crochet, chain 1. Make a double crochet, chain 1. As you can see, we're just continuing doing the exact same thing that we've been doing, making a double crochet into the chain space and chaining 1. So go ahead and continue around the entire sleeve. Right here is the start of this row, and then this is the last chain space, so I'm going to chain 1, double crochet into the last chain space, chain 1, and then I am going to slip stitch into the 3rd chain on my starting chain. Now I'm going to make a slip stitch into the next chain space. I'm going to continue doing the same thing, so I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting in the next chain space, I'm going to make a double crochet, chain 1, make a double crochet, chain 1, make a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Continue doing the same thing until we meet back at the start of row 2. Here I have my last chain space, so I'm going to make a double crochet, chain 1, and then slip stitch into the 3rd chain on the starting chain. Repeat row 2 until your sleeve is your desired length. I've made 9 rows for my sleeve, so I'm going to go ahead and just chain 1, double crochet into my last chain space, chain 1, and then slip stitch into the 3rd chain on my starting chain. I'm just gonna go ahead and fasten that off. And here is my first sleeve done. Repeat these steps on the other side to make your other sleeve. To finish our cardigan, we are going to be doing a half double crochet along the edge of our cardigan. We're going to make 2 half double crochets into each of these double crochet chain spaces. So make a slip knot, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and pull through. Chain 1. Now make 2 half double crochets into this double crochet space. 1, 2. Make 2 half double crochets into the next space. 1, 2. Since we are at the corner, we're going to make 1 half double crochet as our corner piece. Now make 2 more half double crochets right here. 1, 2. This is what our corner piece will look like. We will be making only 1 more corner like this on the other side of our cardigan. Continue to make 2 half double crochets into each chain space. So 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets. Continue this around the entire cardigan and make 5 half double crochets in the other corner piece. I just finished making 2 half double crochets into each chain space along the bottom of my cardigan. I am on the other corner piece now, so I'm going to make 2 half double crochets. Make 1 more half double crochet for the corner. And then I'm going to make 2 more half double crochets to start along the side. 1, 2. So now I will continue to make 2 half double crochets into each chain space. 1, 2. 1, 2. Continue making 2 half double crochets into each space until you make it back to the start of the row. This is the beginning of the row, so I'm going to make my last 2 half double crochets. 1 and 2. I'm going to slip stitch into the farthest back loop on my half double crochet. I'm making a slip stitch, chaining 1, and then I'm going to make a half double crochet into that same loop. Into the next 3 half double crochets, I'm just going to make 1 half double crochet into the farthest back loop. This is my second half double crochet, and then my third half double crochet. Here is my corner half double crochet. I'm going to make 3 half double crochets into this corner piece, into the back loop. 2 and 3. So I'm going to continue to make 1 half double crochet into each back loop of each half double crochet, and then for my other corner I will also do 3 half double crochets into that back loop. So I'm just going to keep making half double crochets, 1 half double crochet, half double, so this is what it will look like. Continue to make half double crochets into each back loop. I just finished adding a half double crochet into the back loop of each half double crochet on the bottom of the cardigan. And now I am at another corner piece. So this is the last corner piece. So I'm going to make 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to continue making half double crochets into each stitch. I'm going to use a stitch marker to mark where I'm going to be making my strap. So I'm going to do that on both sides. So this will be where the straps will be added and then tied together to connect the cardigan. Continue making 1 half double crochet into the back loop of each half double crochet until you get to the stitch marker. I just got to my stitch marker, so I am going to slip stitch into that back loop. I'm going to chain 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just finished chaining 60, so this doesn't really matter how long it is. It can be as long as you want it, as long or as short as you want it. So just go ahead and chain however many you want. I did 60. I'm going to start in the second loop and I'm going to slip stitch down the line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you are done slip stitching down the row, go ahead and slip stitch into the same stitch into the same back loop. And then we're just going to continue making half double crochets into that back loop only. So I'm going to keep making half double crochets until I make it to the other stitch marker. Same thing on the other side. Slip stitch into the back loop. Chain 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Starting in the second chain, I'm going to slip stitch down the row. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch into the same back loop. Continue making half double crochets into the back loop until you make it to the beginning of the second round. 1, 2, 3. Once you get back to the start of round 2, go ahead and slip stitch into the half double crochet, and then I'm just going to fasten off. Make sure all of your ends are weaved in, and once you finish that, you are done. I hope you liked this video tutorial. If you did, please leave a like and leave a comment about what colors you decided to use for your cardigan.
Bye bye. Thank you.